Lovely for you to be here. It's been we've known each other for a long time,
Yeah.
and I'm going to ask you a few questions about life and how we've known each other. First of all, where did you come from? Where were you born, and where were you brought up?
Basically, I'm from Bow, born and bred. Started off working for my dad on a market stall. Grew up strictly Roman Road, Bury Free. Then after I finished the market stalls,
Your dad worked on the market stall.
my dad's got a market, still doing that.
Right. Okay.
So he's been there for like 40 years.
What part of Bethnal? You was in Bethnal Green, I believe, right?
Worked in Bethnal Green. I've
Right.
got a stall, I had a shop in Bethnal Green, estate agents.
Where did you live? You lived in
Roman
Road.
Roman Road, yeah.
Right.
That's where knew everyone. It's like we used to, at nights when we used to go out, my dad used to say, right, you're patrolling the market, you're looking after it. We used to walk up and down.
How do you mean patrolling the market?
That's what we used to do, walk up and down the Roman, just making sure everything was right. We used to get people from Bethnal Green, Hackney, just coming. There used to be, imagine 30, 40 kids just congregating. It was just wild. But everyone used to just love it. There was a kebab on the corner. We used to stand out on the corner of Roman Road. There was a pub called the Albert. We used to stand there, just hang about.
That must have been, I mean, I was probably knocking around. I'm probably about 20 years old. Much older am I? About 15?
15 years older,
So
yeah.
that had been in the 90s.
Yeah,
So you grew up in the 90s.
Yeah, and it was different. It was like not, everyone was out. No one was in. I was the only one to have a phone. It was like Mercury 1-to-1.
Right.
As you go, 7 at night to 7 in the morning, you used to get 3 calls.
Right.
It was like, so
You had mobiles, because I grew up...
I was the only one. There was only one mobile, and it was mine.
How come you got a mobile, no one else?
Because my dad wanted to keep track of me, make sure, because if I weren't about it, he used to drive the streets looking for me. So he said, right, get a phone.
Right.
And he used to give me the phone. He used to use the phone in the day, give it to me at night, and then he could keep tabs on me, see where I am. But yeah, it was just like, it was the heart and soul, everything. Like when people talk about East London, that time then was amazing. Like we was the roughest of the rough. We was rough, but it was just like everyone was equal. It was just such a good place. We used to go to different manors like Barking, Romford. We used to get on a train, go down every line, looking for girls, and everyone used to want to know, what's the Roman like, what's Bow like? Everyone used to want to know.
So it did have Roman had a reputation.
Big reputation, yeah, and we was the boys. Like we was.
Bethnal Green, because I know Bethnal Green, but I'm an Essex boy and came there later. Bethnal Green,
Well, for me, but it was a side string. Bethnal, Bow was the one. Like everyone would come from Bow. Like we used to not got Matty Cole, Richard Cowie. He's called Wiley.
Right.
He started grime. Everyone was there, and we was all me and all my mates. We was like the centre. It was like the centre of everything. Everyone, Bethnal used to come down. Hackney used to come down. We used to stand there.
Bethnal was another area. Hackney was, so they were different.
Yeah, and they used to come to Roman, and everyone used to come down to Roman, and we just used to hang out. It was, imagine if you see 30 kids on the street now hanging about, you'd think, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
But that was our day-to-day life.
Yeah.
Just going out, but this is when we was younger, and then as we started going older, we started going out, but the day-to-day was just. It was just the way of life. It was. I took my little girl. I brung her around the area.
You mentioned that, yeah.
Yeah, and she said, "So Dad, you come from here."
What you called it, the end?
The end. She said, "You come from the ends." I said, "This is us." I said, like, she couldn't believe how, but it weren't the ends to us.
A lot of trouble then.
We was the trouble. Like we was the ones. Like it was. Used to walk about. Never had a care in the world, but it was. If someone looking in. It was the dregs. It was terrible, but it was to us. It weren't. It was normal.
Right.
But it was great. Like, and my little girl came. She said, "This is where you come from." I said, "This is us." And like my little girl was called Bow. I called her Bow because that's the love. And my mate Wiley, Richard Cowie, he made a song Bowie Free, and he just when he sings about, you just know all the places he says, you understand what he's talking about.
Right.
So but he's. Different level now. He's not like, but we're still like my shop's in Bethnal, so we still I'm still close to the manor. I'm still
Right.
close. I'm still involved. My dad still works down the market, so I'm still
Yeah, I know
there.
that. I know.
Yeah, so we're
And
still...
what was being teenage? So these teenage years is probably where you got the most.
Yeah, this is just before you got a car,
Right.
and then as you got a car, you started driving out to Essex, Southend, and doing all that kind of thing.
Right.
But before we had the cars, it was just walking, getting on trains, going Barking, going Romford, going up Minster. They was the stops you used to
Yeah.
go, and every stop you used to get. You used to get out of the stops, and they say, "Oh, what's it like? What's Roman like? What's?" It was like they was in awe. They wanted stories. Because it weren't that way of life.
Right. How old? What's your memory? Obviously, I think coming from a teenager, that's when things started getting probably a bit more, I suppose, lively. Because I remembered you from then. I know you was. I remember.
I met you when I was 17, 18,
17,
yeah, but that
18.
was just before then.
What made you go into property? 'Cause I knew you from Neil Chandler. I remember you were a young lad. I remember we used to have, you were probably about 17, 18.
Yeah, so I was doing the market stalls, and then one night, me and my mates went Romford. There was a club called Hollywoods.
I know Hollywoods.
Right,
I don't
so-
know Hollywoods, but I remember Hollywoods.
Right, so
Not a sort of place.
We was there one night.
You used to kick off there all the time.
So we
Go
was
on.
there one night.
Yeah.
We've come out of there. There was a group of 20 geezers. They've tore up to us. That's them. And then they've got to us and they say, "Oh, no, that ain't them, that ain't them." But they was going to put it on us.
Right.
And then we've stood there, and then we've all looked at each other, and then we've chased them. And then we've all had big offs. And then all of a sudden, I felt something in the back of my knee, and my mate stabbed me in the back of my knee, and I've gone, "Oh,
Whoa. Your mate stabbed you.
Well, he was stabbing everyone, but in the accident, he stabbed me. And I said, you stabbed me. I said, oh. And so he's like, oh. So he stood next to me. And then police come. I've dived on, I've told, I said, got everyone run. I've dived on the car. I'm like, ah. And then I've gone to hospital. And as I'm laying in hospital, I'm laying there. I think, I'm seeing one get wheeled in. These are the geezers that we was having rows with.
Right.
One's got wheeled in, two's got wheeled in, three's got wheeled in, and I'm standing, there's about 10 of them in there. So I've got on the phone to my dad. I said, "Dad, listen." I said, "I think I'm in a bit of trouble here." He said, I said, I told him to start, I'm in hospital. I said, "And all the geezers just here with me." So my dad's come down, he's had a Big Mac on, and he's just gone berserk in the hospital. No one said anything to me. No one's even said a word to me. Who wants it? He's going berserk. So I said, and then my dad just stood there with me all night. We've come out and he said, "Look, you can't be on the road no more. You can't stand on this market. You got to get a proper job."
Right.
So then
That was a defining moment.
that was the time I had to heal. I couldn't walk for a little bit.
Right.
So I had to heal up, get a proper job, and that's when I started into estate agents. And that's when I met your mate,
Neil Chandler.
Neil. And one thing, why did they call you Wiggy?
It's a horrible type thing, actually, and I've spoke about that. It was it's something I'll probably speak about you later, but it wasn't a pleasant word, and it's something because I wrote this book.
Yeah.
It come from a term, wiggy woggle. It's a racist term, and I've not.
And your mate called you it.
No, but he didn't know.
Right.
And I've held it back. It's only since I've wrote the book that I've managed to release it out, because wiggy, there's a thing called a woggle. And when I was 11 years old, I used to go to Scouts, and in Scouts there was a thing I used to call this guy in Cooper White Weebles Wobbles, but they don't fall down. It was a toy.
Yeah, I
And
remember.
he came back with Wiggy Woggle. So it's only now
Woggle.
that I've released it, because everyone used to think, I called it, everyone wanted to own it, and I just thought, do you know what? I couldn't get rid of it because everyone wanted to call me it. So it's an interesting.
So I didn't. All I knew you as, and my dad still knows you.
Yeah.
When I say I'm on the phone to people, he goes, "Oh, Wiggy."
Yeah, it come from a racist middle class. It wasn't like out back in the back. It come from a middle class Scouts, very middle class. It was a racist slur, and it took me years. But it's only since I've wrote it that I've come out with where it come from. So
Yeah, well, that's how I first knew it. And
Yeah.
it was your man Neil. He was like mental.
Well, yeah.
He was crazy.
Yeah.
You could. He was a nice fella, but you could see there was something when you looked at him. There was something in his eyes that weren't right.
Yeah, we went to a Catholic school, and he lost his mother when we were at school, and it turned him. We went because everything was about God and religion, and he lost his mother, and he must have been 12 or 13, and I think he not because he was a solid solid friend, but he definitely had a side to him which was, well,
Yeah, you could
lunatic.
see.
You can see that because you probably got the same madness in you. But there was definitely a side.
No, but he was loose. He was tiny, but you could just say,
Yeah.
like you could.
Well, we had the brilliant time because when you went into property, we started doing Fight Club, didn't we, in the basement? I remember basement for many reasons. It was a basement when you lot and your pals were in there banging on the shovel playing PS4. I mean, that was all a bit weird.
Well, first of all, before we done that, the Fight Club thing was mental. It was Neil who wanted to start up. He said, we want to do boxing.
Yeah.
He said, me and all my mates want to... I said, well, let's do it down here. And I was always up for shit. Like, just all up for mentalness.
Yeah. You were very...
So, yeah, and then so we've come down. And then out of the blue, you said, I've got a geezer who can get us a gym. And I've never been to your house. We come to your house in Walthamstow.
Natchington Court it was, yeah.
Went to your house in Walthamstow. And... it weren't far from there. Walk away.
Alan Mortlake, his name was.
Yeah.
And he had the gym on, was it Forest Road? I think it was.
Weren't far from your flat.
Yeah, literally on the corner.
Yeah, it went far, yeah. So we went in the gym, and there was this old boy there. He went, all right, boys.
Yeah, Alan Mortlake, his name.
Yeah, and you said, oh, we've come for the gym. He went, chuck you the keys. He went, I'll never forget. He went, all right, boys, I'm going to leave you here. Look up when you're finished. And I'm thinking, what is up? Big gym.
Big gym.
Yeah, I'm thinking, what's the...
Who's Conor Benn's coach? Because I saw him training a fella in there. Conor Benn's got a coach in there.
Listen, the geezer don't ask from Adam.
Yeah.
And he's give us the keys to the gym.
Yeah.
And there was about seven, 8 of us just smashing the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
Just having it. And I mean, I know you're going to disagree, but I used to fuck you up.
No, you didn't.
Right.
No, I knew you was going to say this.
Let's said this a long time.
Let's get the truth out of it. You did give me a black eye, I'll give you that. But you.
And what did you tell your missus?
Yeah, okay. Well, let's
Say, continue.
It was. Are you of colour? Yes, you are.
No. So I remember I was on the phone to your missus and I said, how is he? She went, boxing was bad. He said some big black geezer beat him up. And I went, it was me. I said, what are you talking about?
Did you not squeal like a pig when you went?
I don't remember you say this.
Windmilling me.
Yeah, but let's put it in perspective.
Go on.
You was 27, I was 17. That's borderline child abuse.
Yeah, well, you know.
Borderline, and you're getting kicks out of beating up. If I fought a 17-year-old now...
How old was Mike Tyson when he won his championship?
So you're putting me on a par with Mike Tyson?
Yeah, I think you were. that was a beginning fight.
It was. That was brilliant, though.
We had a lot of fun there.
Yeah, it was. And that's how me and you started connecting. And then I started... I got you I remember I got you a nice little flat.
And I paid you. I remember that was
No, for the forum. And I was desperate. I said to you, I want to buy this with you. And you went, don't do that. He said, look, I won't do that. I'm going to buy it myself and you can look after it for me. And that was the first dealings with it. And that's how we started.
Yeah.
And then down the line, we worked and worked and worked. Then you sideways me.
Well, no, let's slow down a little bit because I was buying a lot of flats, an awful lot of flats, and then a lot.
Yeah.
And that went on.
You had about 30.
Yeah, that went on for a while, and I think it was Neil that got me into it, sort of buying ex-councils, and I started buying a few, and then he'd just done the off. He went off to Thailand.
He went to Thailand. Yeah, he's gone to Thailand.
But I remember I used to come down to your office. I remember going downstairs in the land office because you were working with Michael. First of all you were at Land & Co.
That was on the corner.
Then you went to Osborne's.
We started, Osborne was there.
Right.
Osborne was there, and that's when I seen Neil.
Right.
Neil, we was all working together. There was me, Neil, Mike, and there was Howard, the manager. And that's when I first see Neil lose his shit with Mike. I thought, I can lose it. I just thought, wow. He was going mad. For some reason, he used to call me Gallus. He was going, Gallus, I'm going to kill him. Yeah. I'm going to kill him, Gallus. I was going, no, man. He reminded me of Tim Westwood. The geezer was this big. Yeah. What, just like Tim, Gallus, I'm going to kill him. I swear. I was going, Neil, relax. Like, he's not that bad. He's like, no, I'm going to kill him. But that's how it started. But
because he stayed in Northfield. I buy that, but with Neil, I sort of came back. I disappeared for a while. I was into the house scene, proper house scene. I come out of that, and I think when I was coming out of the house scene, because I'm a bit older, we're at house scene. you was getting to the garage scene. So I spoke to you the other day, and I thought garage scene everyone was banging the crack.
No,
but everyone you're saying about
Bumbles and Gear.
Right, because you was knee deep in that scene, right?
Yeah,
I've remember seeing you a few times out and about.
Yeah, Thursday, Friday, Saturdays, Sundays was Choice FM night. But Thursday, Friday, Saturday, garage. There was a one club in Waterton Road called Powerhouse.
Right.
It used to be like our club. We used to be there all the time. It was like just...
And what was everyone taking? Bumbles?
And Gear. Just Bumbles and Gear. That's all it was.
Right, so that's the difference. I think a lot more shovel was getting floating about then.
Yeah, loads. And that's when Bumbles was...
Because Bumbles, I was in the 89, 90s. That's when it was the rave scene in London was like full on, because always the football violence. Then it went into the house scene. That was my scene. And then when I was coming out, you was going the garage scene coming on. Because
it was all garage.
I thought the garage scene was a little bit more. The clubs were a bit more. It was a bit more dicey. It was a bit. It used to kick.
They were like
more. Because the house scene wasn't. Our house scene wasn't. Your generation.
Powerhouse was in Stratford, and we used to walk down a canal at 3 a.m. It weren't, but it was normal for us. Like we used to go. This club was rough in the middle of a like industrial estate.
Where was it exactly?
Where the Olympics is now. So if you think of where West Ham's at, that's where it was. But all then it was like just industrial, bare industrial estates, and it was rough. It was not rough. It was good, but not normal people. I don't think it would have been everyone's cup of tea, but we used to love it. I used to love it, especially. I used to get in for free, but there was one bouncer on the door.
How did you get in for free?
I knew the girl on the door. She was just like sweet with us.
Right.
But there was a bouncer before you got to the door. Well, never let me in. I used to have to weigh him in to get. I said, "You know me. I come here all the time."
Right.
No, you can't come in. Why? You have to sort me out. Oh, every week. We were every week without fail. And I used to get in there, they used to laugh. He used to go, "Yeah, he don't like you." The geezer was just a menace to me, hated me. But it was one of them clubs, it was pucker. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday was Choice FM. It was pucker.
So just Powerhouse? Because I saw you in another gaff down in by, what was that other one I used to see you?
Aquarium?
Was it Aquarium?
I used to do do's. We used to do a garage do called Cerebellum. That was another thing I used to do. We used to do garage do's in Aquarium. And I remember I took Cerebellum. Always, Aquarium had a crowd going to anyway.
Yeah.
But I thought I was that good and that big. We took Cerebellum to Powerhouse. Powerhouse had been closed for 10 years.
Right. So Cerebellum was another club?
Cerebellum was the name of a promotion.
Right.
And so we took it to Powerhouse. And when I tell you, I made no money. Everyone was on guest list. It was a rave for Bethnal, Hackney and Bow. And just everyone was on guest list. I lost a fortune that night. But that was...
Character building.
It was another night, just debauchery and just getting... It was just ridiculous. But it was... These are the times you go through. It was just great.
Sounds like you enjoyed your teenage years.
Because it was carefree. We didn't give a fuck. We just done whatever we wanted to do, went wherever we wanted to do, and no one said nothing.
No trouble.
No trouble. We was the trouble. Like it was, our little niche was.
I remember when I come down. I remember coming down into Bethnal. I see your little firm. Playing PS4. I think it was in the.
But that was in
big plates of shovel. And we allowed to talk about shovel.
Yeah.
Big plates of shovel bowling around. I'm like, fuck. I said to Neil.
That was fun. That was just a night in.
I wasn't doing gear then. I didn't do gear till I was 40. But I remember seeing it. Everyone's like fucking starry-eyed.
Yeah. But that was I had a time with it. It was like. At the time, it was great. It was a good time, and it was an addiction. It was just an addiction. Like every week since I was 17, it was introduced to me. It was just that every week. You
didn't realise probably how much it creeped. It's only recently because we discussed. You've seen what I've gone through, and we discussed it. But how you get stuck in that loop. You know that loop where it becomes normal.
It became a ritual. It was like religious, near enough. I used to do it on a Wednesday because no one would think. I used to have a day. I used to make a big thing of it where no one would think you'd be getting on a Wednesday. So I used to make a big day of it every Wednesday religiously.
Right.
Get on it. And then you could disappear. No one would care. And then Thursday, you'll be back. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, fighting to come down. And then Saturday, Sunday, Monday, you're calling it back on, excited for Wednesday again. Just a sick circle.
Back into the loop.
Yeah, but you just burn away your life. And I've said this to you before. That film, Click, Adam Sandler.
I've mentioned that. Speed, yes.
You get on it, and then you just want to fast forward to your next time you get on it because you don't want to go through that pain. And you just laying there thinking, oh my God, I'm never doing this again. And then as soon as Monday comes, you're making arrangements for Wednesday again. It was at the time, it's great.
You don't realise. I think as you get older, it's when you're on. I think the worst of it is when you're on your jacks. When you're on your jack, when you're out and about, you're out and about. But when you're when your thing is your garage, my thing was as you know, Rich, help me. What's happened? I'm in a flat. I'm in one of my flats. Can you bring some puff round?
I remember it was disappointing more than anything. You used to call me, and I'd think, yes, he's getting on it.
No.
And then I should send someone around your ass, and then I used to think, well, I'm going to go around there and see what's happening. I used to go around there.
Yeah,
hello.
I've been out
and I just think,
days.
You used to shut the door on me. I was like, what's this geezer doing? I want to come and get on it. And he was like, hello?
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to. Sit down. I was like, what is he doing? Like, I know he's getting on it because someone just dropped him something. Like, what's he doing?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was...
I don't think you realise when you're in it. I think me and you we've been speaking a lot because you've seen I think we both kind of come out of it. And I think I always call it now a loop. You get stuck in this loop and you don't realise you're in it until you come out of it and you see the other side. Because those hangovers, I think you give me in denial. As you said, you go on a Wednesday and then before you know it, you kind of forget about I'm never doing it again.
But it's any excuse. Like, I remember, it sounds sick, but any excuse, like you think, oh, I've got in work on time. I'm like, oh, sweet, I'll just get on it now. Or I've done a deal today. Sweet, I'll get on it.
Any excuse.
It's sunny out, I'll get on it. But it got to a stage where a funeral, someone died. Sweet, I'm going to go get on it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about I'm not thinking about the funeral. I'm thinking about the after party, and that's not a good mentality to think. It's just any excuse to get on it. There's a party, there's a birthday, there's a wedding, there's a funeral. Any excuse. I shut the kitchen door. Let's get on it. Everything. It was just an excuse to get on it. Relentless.
It's interesting that you say it now because I think at the time you don't realise how bad you are until you've actually stopped because you're stuck in this loop. The madness becomes normal.
And if someone says something to you, why are you getting it? You get the on with him. So, what do you mean? Why am I going? Because shut up, like I want to get on it.
Bulletproof was your word.
I thought I was Teflon. Like, I thought nothing could hurt me. But as you get older, like ailments creeping and you put on a bit of weight and you don't look as good. And
I think the fun comes. I don't think there's ever a time when you do it and you wake up in the morning and think that was a good idea. But I do think there's times when you're out, that feeling, you know what, for me, I think, and you agree, is the excitement.
No, do you know what it is? I went to Tottenham, went to White Hart Lane, watched the game. And then coming back, I was buzzing, I had a beer, I had a couple of goes over there. And then I got back to Bethnal and I went to a flat. Among the missus, come get me in a minute. She went, all right. I had one. I thought, yeah, so I still felt good. I had two. And then it was like, uh-oh. It's like someone nailed my feet to the floor. Couldn't move. And I rang her. She went, no, I ain't coming to get you now. You're fucked. No. And then that was it. I was crawling around the floor thinking people were after me. And that was just, it took two. One was motivational. The second one was trouble.
So it was literally like that one line just turned you.
I was doing it already. Like I was out drinking, but when I got back to his flat, there was no drink, no nothing. Done one motivation. Right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that.
Yeah. Everything's so positive.
And then one more. And then it was like I'm stuck. I can't move. It's like someone nailed my feet. And then the next minute, all right, we'll do one more. We'll try and get out of it. One more. Then you're thinking people on you, crawling around the floor, thinking, oh my God, it's horrible. Like, that's what it was. It isn't enjoyable. It wasn't enjoyable. It was that first, but you were just, every week. The reason why I stopped, I was in the garage and I was doing it. And I thought, I thought I've dribbled a bit. I've gone like that.
God.
And I've looked down, I've looked in the mirror, my whole T-shirt, it's like someone threw water over me. And I'm looking at myself, I'm like,
Jesus.
I'm like buckled, I'm like, oh no. And that look, if anyone come in and see me, they'll think, what the fuck is this? They'll take me to hospital, because I was all that. And it weren't a good look. And after that, I thought, do you know what, I've got too much about me to be looking like, that ain't me. It used to send me, like some people, it's like a Jekyll and Hyde thing. It makes some people talk and go out there, and me, it just made me withdraw. You could lock me in a cupboard, a dark cupboard, with a load of gear, and I would be sweet. I don't have to talk to no one. Just leave me in there and I'll be sweet. But it got to a point where it weren't enjoyable. It was like painful at the end of it. And I thought, well, I've got to stop. And that was a couple of years ago now. So I've just, since then, I've got other things to keep me occupied. I've got just keep buying dogs. And
I think, yeah, you've got a few of those.
Yeah, I got dogs, and then just work's got
Do you
busy.
think think that, because I've obviously had my own ways of dealing when I train a lot, and I've obviously said to you about that, and I think certain people that have got that, because I think you're quite a hyper person, similar to myself, but you've had to feed it with work, dogs.
It has to be fed with something, because your brain's always ticking. It's always, and you're the control. You control it. But my brain is always going, always thinking, and I always want to be doing something. I'm not that person just to sit there and do nothing and just fade away. So I'm always on.
Do you know what I've noticed? And I'd say this between with me and you. The one thing I realised when I made my money, I wasn't doing gear between 30 and 40. And one thing I noticed, I had speed. Everything was quick. Buy enough flat, buy enough. The one thing happens as soon, and I think I've seen that with you, is when you stopped, is the element of speed, getting things done. I will speak to you sometimes at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, just talking about, it's speed. Even like today, sitting in this podcast, Rich, doing a podcast, yeah, no problem, let's do it next week, we're doing it next week. It's done. Whereas before, that gear is like an anchor. You cannot do anything. It's like,
you can't add two and two
so
together.
speed, I think speed is the one thing in life which gets you to makes you successful or get stuff done. But
it's just your brain.
shovel.
It's your brain's clear. It gunks up your brain. It gums it up. You like. You don't. Then for the 2 days after you've been getting on it, you shouldn't do nothing, because it's going to be wrong, or it ain't going to be. It's going to be half-hearted, and that's why when I was working, I used to give sub out stuff.
No, you did.
I never used to do it myself. Right? To give myself an easy life, someone else do it. Someone else do it. People must have thought, what is this geezer doing? I'm giving him flats, and he's just subbing it. And when you look back on it, it's stupid. But you was happy and you was going through the motions. It was easy.
Yeah.
Like, my brain works half a level, works normal. Without gear, it's...
Well, I've seen I think I call it looping. You're in the loop is like you're in the stadium. You're doing gear, not doing it, then you do it again, you got to start again. I think once you've come out the stadium, you've come out of it now, when you look out and you look and you don't realise you're stuck in a loop. So, I don't think it's even just gear, I think it's alcohol, it's many addictions.
Alcohol's terrible. Alcohol's worse. If I have a drink, the next day, I can't do nothing. I won't do figures, because it's going to be wrong. So you just got to, I can't.
I've got to say something, it was funny. I won't say the event, but I remember going to an event with you. A particular person had liquid shovel. That is like vaping up your nose. Yeah. And you don't have to go anywhere. You get the shovel.
It's like Vicks.
Vicking shovel. I mean, you're panging it up your nose. It's brutal.
But what it was doing, because normally shovel blocks you up, this was clearing you.
Yes.
And giving you... Like,
and not having to go to the toilet.
Yeah.
To do a line of shovel on the back of a toilet seat.
The same night was funny. Me and you went in the toilet, and I said, right, everyone, and there was just a crowd of people just there. It was just me and you in there. Oh. But these are the things, like, it gives you like an air of invincibility. You can do what you want and say, like, I'm kind of like that. Drink does that. It makes me like an hooligan. And the shovel took it down a notch.
Yeah.
So I used to always say, because I'm having a drink, I'm going to get on it, because it takes the edge off. It's an excuse.
For things which is, you've had a bad week, Rich. Come on, let's get on it.
I've had a good week.
Let's get on it. Tottenham have won. Let's get on it. Tottenham have lost.
Get on it.
Let's get on it. There was more losses than wins, right?
And then, but the thing is, if my missus used to say anything, she's my rock now.
Yeah.
But when she used to say something to me, I said, what's wrong with her? What? I used to get the ump that she didn't let me do it.
You didn't.
Yeah, I used to think, what the fuck? Like, come on.
Yeah.
I'm not doing nothing
It's
terrible.
quite a mad narcissistic drug.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. And I'm a narcissistic, but I am a narcissistic person.
How do you feel now? What do you say? I mean, I think certainly you're more active, and I've seen even just the things. I mean, you still got mad stories. I mean, what was it? The madness. You went a football match with a couple of pounds, didn't you?
Right, to the same football match. You know, when I was ended up in a flat on my own. I only ended up on my own.
You got on it that.
Well, yeah. So so that night where I was on my own,
Yeah.
I weren't meant to be on my own. I had two mates with me. So what happened was we went to a couple of cocktail bars. I don't even realise we'd drunk so much, but we must have done 6 or 7 cocktails, porn style martinis, damn them.
Yeah.
All 3 of us.
Yeah.
Then me and one of my pals had a little go, sorted us out. The other one didn't have a go.
Yeah.
So we was on the train and we was all talking about a particular fella. We all know. One was saying, I don't like him. The other one was saying, I like him. And then they started getting, well, I like him. No. And the other one was like, well, I think he's a cunt.
Oh, dear.
And then it started getting heated. And I was going, no, listen, calm down. He's like, it ain't even that big a thing. And then so it got a bit heated. So I pulled one aside. I said, listen, just stop it. I said, this is ridiculous. And as we got off at White Hart Lane, there's stairs that go down. My other pal was at the bottom saying, who the fuck are you talking to? And then they wanted to have it from the station to near the Grand. And I was holding them back. And then it just got to a point I just thought, fuck it. And then they had it off with each other.
Okay.
Old Bill come, undercover old Bill come, he went, mate, I've been watching you since the stairs. He went, you done well to keep
Everyone on the dicky.
One of them weren't. One of my pals weren't. Right. But that's why he started going mental. Like, he just started arguing about nothing.
Right.
And so they've had a punch up. Old Bill, I said to him, look, we've never been to the new Grand. We're just going to go. One of my pals said, I'm going. I'm going to go home. I'll leave you too. So he went home. Yeah. And then my other mate's shirt was all ripped. So I said, we'll go and get you a Tottenham shirt. It was like something out of a film. And so we started walking. And I said, right, here's a shop. I looked around. There was no one there. He had gone. So I rung him, didn't pick up. I rung my other mate. I thought, cunts, they've just left me.
Yeah.
So I've gone to the Grand on my own, had a buzz, met people,
and
then just cut. But what happened was, the old people come back and nicked him. One of my pals, he got caught with gear on him. Oh. So he had to do some rehabilitation thing for a month. Oh. All for nonsense, carnage. Just for being nonsense, like just stupidness. Carnage. When it was like, I swear to God, I had the best time of my life on my own. Having a couple of people with me would have been even better, but 2 waddies I went out with, and then when after the game they went, they were, can you get tickets again? I said, not for fucking you, I can't. Yeah, I can, but not for yous. Mate, they were just mental.
Yeah, you have got some interesting stories.
Loads.
About the one thing I've got to bring up stories. When you went to America, you had an incident with. Was it in a casino?
Well, no, it wasn't in a casino. So we just come out of the casino, me and my missus, and I was tipsy. Let's say
you two can get a bit lively.
Yeah, we get fucked. Yeah, yeah, we do. But. She sees me drink, so she wants to keep up, but she's after sides of me, so she gets ruined. But that night, she was kind of on a normal level. So we're out in a club, and I'm just being me. I'm talking to people, nicking people's hats, just having a buzz. And then she said, come, let's go. So we're going, and as we're walking out, there was a group of girls. They said, where's the toilets? And I don't know. She's come up to me, what are you doing talking to people? Threw water over me.
Yeah.
All right, sweet. So we're walking out. All of a sudden, a bouncer's come up to me. He's pushed me up against the wall. We went, all right, what are you doing? I said, what are you talking about? What am I doing? He said, you got to go. And he pushed me. I said, listen, you ain't going to touch me. And then I said, it's going to need more than you to get me out of here. All of a sudden, about 4, come up to me. I went, right, come on then. So me and there was 4 of them. They just basically screwed me up and took me into a cell in the casino, in the hotel. But the actual hotel was the hotel we were staying in. Like, there was a club in the hotel. And then I'm just freaking out, just telling them I'm from the Roman, and they don't know where the Roman is from Adam. Like, they don't know where Bo is. And I'm going, and they've gone into my missus, and they said, like, is he all right? Is he wider? Like, is he normal. And she went, yeah, but what you've done to him's wrong. And I said, you've done this for nothing. I said, I've done nothing wrong. So they've watched the cameras. They went, yeah, he ain't done nothing. I went, see? I said, see you. I said, you, me, get in here. I said, the bouncer. Me and you, just leave me and you in here. And he walked off. And they said, right, all right, he's all right. But the woman threw a drink on him. Yeah, and I went, what are you talking? I said, she beats me up with a frying pan. That's nothing. They went, in Vegas, you can't throw. I said, this is the city of sin.
Yeah.
I said, what do you mean you can't do it? So they said, right, you got to leave the hotel. This was the Metropolitan, I think, something like that. I can't remember what it was. And they said, right, you got to leave. I said, I ain't leaving. I said, I've paid. This is the first, mind you, this is the first night. They said, you got to go. I said, no. I said, give my money back. I'll cut out. No problems. And that's all right, we'll get you another room. All right, sweet. All of a sudden, old Bill's coming. He reckons...
Don't mess about out there.
No, he reckons, right, come on, we've got a room. And then he put me in the police car. And I laid down. He went, get up. I went, mate, I'm fucked. I went, there's no... I said, you come sit next to me, keep me propped up. I said, because unless you want to cuddle, I'm going to sleep. So I've got to say, they don't like that shit out there. That wind him up.
They didn't get your humour.
No. So we've gone in the... I'm in the police station, and he reckons, take your belt and shoes off. I said, mate, I'm fucked. So there's no way I'm bending down to get them shoes. Before I knew it, he must have clotheslined me because I see my feet. I went up in the air, on my back, they took my shoes, the belts off, and threw me in a cell. And I was in this cell, I couldn't tell you how, for about a good, I won't say 24 hours, I would say a good 12 hours.
Yeah.
But there was some Mexican, a black fella, I think another Puerto Rican. And the Puerto Rican was in there for jaywalking. The Mexican was nicking cars. I don't know what the black fella was in there for. But the geezer went, we were just having a crack. I was telling him, come to London, me and you moonwalked across the streets. We could do anything. He was loving it. And it was just, we was like, by the time we got out of there, we was in a cell, there was about 12 people. I had to have a shit. So I'm having a shit. And there was, I moved everyone out of the way, and there was some geezer just passed out on the floor. And I was going, mate, move. And he wouldn't move. So what I was doing, I was just wafting it in his face, and he was like, and I was just, everyone in the cell was pissing themselves. I was going like that to him. And he was laying basically between my legs. And
it wasn't nice, loveliest of...
No, and I needed a drink, and the only drink was from a toilet. So I was drinking toilet water.
So your missus was in the hotel?
No, she got nicked as well. She was in a nut. She thought I was dead. Because the way I was going on, she thought they had killed me. So she was in the prison as well. And then I think it's general population.
The same prison?
Same prison.
Right.
So they let you out of the cells into like a mass population, like where you must get booked or something.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there waiting for food. And all of a sudden I've seen them like that. And they're going berserk. Don't communicate with them. I thought, when they first come in, I thought it was a load of brasses. I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, that's my missus. I was like, yes. Like that. And then you're not allowed to communicate. And then I've gone up to see the booking officer. He said, what are you doing here? I said, I don't know. He said, you should have been let out within an hour. I said, mate, I'm still here. He went, oh, you can go. I went, how about my missus? He went, no, she's in trouble.
Really? For throwing the water?
I said, what?
They'll drink it, yeah?
Yeah, for water.
All right.
He went, she's got to stay.
Oh
I went, what do you...
God.
I said, what do you mean? He said, well, you need £5,000 bail. I went, what? So I said, look, get my card. You got all my gear.
Yeah.
I'll pay you the £5,000 bail.
Right.
So I paid the bail.
That was nice of you.
Well, one of the geezers, he did pre-warn me. One of the Mexican geezers said, leave her in here. Come get her tomorrow because they're going to ask for bail. He said, tomorrow she'll go to court and then they'll just see her straight away. He said, but you can get her out today if you bail her out. He said, just leave her in. She'll be all right. I was thinking, I could leave her till tomorrow and go Vegas. But no, I didn't. But yeah, so I bailed her out and admit, when you're coming out, the old Bill, I was leaning against the wall. Get the fuck off the wall. Like, just cunts. Like, just horrible bastards. So, and then as I had a suit made, a bespoke suit made, so I'm putting the suit on as I'm going out. He went, Richie, what'd you do? I said, you cunt. I said, you've been fucking having me up all night, all day. You ain't spoke to me one bit nice. I said, now you want to know about me? I said, fuck, I picked my shoes up, run out shoeless. And as you walk out, you go through this big door and it's like just sun. And I thought, well, and my missus was outside then, we just cuddled for ages and said, what the fuck? What? No one knew where, we was off the grid. Everyone was trying to get hold of us. No one could get hold of us. It was just like, oh.
Do you know what is funny when you mention, because there's an element where shovel straightens you out, but turns into carnage, because there was an element when I
was kind of looking for it, and she was worried
that you was going to get on the shovel.
No, she was worried that I was going to ask the wrong person.
Right.
Because I was fucked at it.
Right.
And so I was looking, but not.
Because at that time it probably would have been straighten yourself out.
Yeah, of course, yeah. But I weren't too bad. Just a group of girls asked me the wrong question at the wrong time, and that sent her, because I was not too up with the speed. She wanted to go, I was dawdling, and because I was dawdling, I got I thought it weren't much wrong, but she just freaked out. But she was worried that I was going to ask the wrong person, so she would just keep putting me away, just to keep me, because she knew what I was on.
Because it's interesting, because you're not a real drinker. Ever? You don't drink. You only drink when you're.
No, right. So I drink to balance out the dicky.
Yes, yeah.
I drink to balance it out, and I drink.
Smoke. That's the fucking. I've seen you smoke, because I do this. I don't. Thank God I don't do it. I will smoke and drink like a lunatic for days. So my thing is, yours is a bit more controlled. For you actually will go home. I will be out.
Yeah, I was never one of them people to be on for like a day and a night and then home 2, 3, maybe 5, 6 in the morning. That was latest. But it was the drink was Jaeger.
Yeah,
just straight. I used to drink half pints at a go.
Drinking gallons of it. It doesn't seem possible.
Yeah, I used to drink a bottle a night, easy. But that just showed you how much dicky I was doing, just to keep the balance there. It was at the start of the night. You have a go, you feel good, but then Mr. Weirdo creeps in, and you're looking around thinking everyone's talking about me, everyone's on me. Yeah. I mean, there's nights I've been indoors, I'll just lay out a set of knives. I've got cameras everywhere. I know you're coming to my ass before you know you're coming. I've got cameras down the street everywhere, and I just sit there waiting for something that's never going to happen.
The garage.
And I'm waiting to stab someone up, but it's never going to ever happen. But it's a horrible thing. It makes you someone completely reverse of yourself. Yeah. I don't worry about people, totally, but then I turn into some fucking lunatic that's paranoid. I'm not. That's not me.
I've seen it when I've come in the office, and it takes your energy
essence
out.
It's like your mojo.
100%. Yeah. Everything's serious. You look at me.
No, because I think, oh no, it's it.
You know what I know.
Yeah, no. But that's before you used to get on it. And when you don't use an arsehole, I ain't gonna when you used to go judging people. Oh no, he's here. Oh, I'm buzzing.
Rich, you just paranoid. You make me feel uncomfortable. Your eyes, because obviously you're funny. We have humour. Yeah. You're looking at me. Because
I'm thinking he knows.
Because one thing is you just eyes are just. I know. I see the same. I turn in. I've got. My demon was Hector. What happens? It completely switches who you are.
Hey, but you're very judgmental. You're a very different person in certain.
I don't know what you're talking about, Richard. What are you talking about?
It's the Shoreditch House personality.
Yes.
I've never. I talk to you on a level all the time, and we went to Shoreditch House, and then I thought. We walked in there, and then your name and your Mr. Harrington and one guy. I thought, what? Who?
It's true.
Like this geezer, I'm thinking, who is it?
Well, look, let me tell you something. I actually toned my voice down a little bit for you, and that's how I normally am.
No, it's ridiculous. It's too much. I don't know this fella.
One thing I kept the gun on was this, which I remember kept saying about the universe. But I have to say, because we had an interesting moment when I was talking to you about. I've got this thing with the universe, which I do believe I'm a bit connected. And when we had the Sid Vicious moment, when you was talking about your dad was, anyone doesn't know who Sid Vicious is, he was
it was a rock and roll, it was a punk rocker, wasn't he?
Sex Pistols.
Yeah.
But it's funny, I mention it expecting everybody to know, but I just realised a lot of kids have got no idea.
No one knows who he is. But I only knew him because my dad used to talk. My dad used to hang about with him. My dad never used to call him Sid Vicious. He used to call him Beverly.
Right.
Because Beverly was his mum's name.
So he was a Roman road boy, wasn't he?
No, Hackney.
Right.
They was from Hackney.
Right.
Yeah, they was from Hackney. My dad was from Stoke Newton.
Yeah.
So when that punk rock started coming out, they all had their weird hair.
Yes.
All their punk rockers there.
Punks.
That Sid
I like
Fisher,
the
Beverly.
pub, yeah.
He come into a pub. He come into one of the pubs my dad was in, and my dad seen him, and he's gone, Beverly, what the fuck?
What,
and then
with his hair like that.
yeah, like as a punk.
Yeah.
And then he's run. And then my dad's look. When he's gone, they went, Abe. He knew he was going to take the piss out of him, so he's run.
Right.
He didn't want my dad to rip the shit out of him.
Right.
But then he become something mental, like. And me and you I was telling you the story.
Yeah.
That story there about when my dad see that Sid Vicious, and what happened.
Well, I keep telling
Where
you.
was you?
I was in Ibiza.
Yeah.
And I kept on saying to you, and I truly believe this now, and more I speak, since I've become clean with substance, I feel I'm having these weird things, universal things that happen. And I could talk to you about it. So I'm in Bethnal Green, we're talking about that. You're, for no reason,
I'm in Bethnal Green, you weren't in Bethnal
sorry,
Green.
I'm in Ibiza, sorry.
You're in
Catch,
Ibiza, yeah.
So I'm in Ibiza, you're in Bethnal Green. And for no reason, we're having this conversation. And I said, Rich, I can't believe what I'm seeing. You go, what? I'm in Ibiza town, and there's a picture of Sid Vicious in a shop selling clothes in the middle of Ibiza. And
he ain't even that famous. Like, he's famous, but...
Not...
Yeah.
It's a
We're talking about him and he's
I
there.
kept saying to you, I'm telling you, I've had a few weird things. The red dot, green dot.
Yeah.
I've had a few of those things. But I think that's... I think when you're... I think what you've probably noticed, when you're clean and your body hasn't got all the shit, you just got more access to more things. You've seen it with your relationship, probably with your dogs and your kids and your wife and all that. It's just more... I think you use the word...
You're relevant. You're there. You're in the presence. Yeah, you're there. You're not... Because it's just a vicious circle. You're getting on it, you're sweet. And then the day after, 2 days after, you want to hide away. So this rage, the pain don't come out. And then it'll get to Saturday, Sunday, you start feeling better. You can give the family that bit of that you time.
Yeah.
And then Monday, you're calling on ready for Wednesday. And then it's got... Your life is... Your family get to see a good part of you for a day or two.
Yeah.
When there, I'm present all the time.
And I think you caught at it, and I'd say let's have it right. We've both pushed as far as you can put down that line. Your body parts start breaking. Something will go wrong with your lungs for smoking too much, your heart, your this, your that.
Well, the weight of it, I was getting, it was complacency. You didn't... I remember I used to get on it. My missus used to go shop. I said, go get me a munch. Tip out a Sainsbury's bag, M&M's, pretzels, crisps, bacon sandwiches. Just used to lay there. I used to lay there, not even break stride, just eating one after the other. Bacon crisps, and just lay there in front of the tent, not moving, just eating. For 2 days I would do that.
Yeah.
Horrible.
And your pals I think the funny thing now is when your pals ring you up, and you go, don't get on it. They're absolutely, what are you talking about? Don't get on it. What?
I've got a mental one. Like, so I was out on Hackney Road. One of my old pals, bit of a junkie, little bit of a junkie. I've seen him, gone, what's happening? Hey, going, Richie? And he stunk of booze. I said, mate, it's 10:30 in the morning. I said, you stink. I said, you've been drinking? He went, of course I've been drinking. And we're talking. And he said, you got any gear? I said, I don't get it no more. And he looked at me like I was the junkie. he went, what do you mean? He went, anytime we wanted to get on, we'd see you. I said, I don't get on it no more. And he frowned at me like I was the junkie, and he was like the superior. And I said, listen, I don't get on it. And he was like, yeah, right. And cut and walked off. And I rang my missus. I said, I've just had a surreal conference. I said, I won't say his name. I said, you know so-and-so? I said, he just made me feel like a junkie. I said, he just left me thinking that, but that's how people must have thought about me. Because I was always the go-to guy, the party guy, the one whoever was, anytime, I didn't go out with a little ticket. I went out with an envelope, I put what postman deliver. It was, I used to get an A4 sheet of paper, wrap it up, wallop, and then that's how people, I think, wow.
I remember where I really started getting going. There was a really good bit. It was around Christmas, and you said, it was a good bit.
Yeah.
And I remember it was a really, really good bit. And there was so much, I got so much of it. I think that really started my madness, because I used to live opposite Images on Hackney Road.
Yeah.
I used to bang a line. I used to go to Images, and I'd be in there. But I know the excitement of it being. It's like you're going on a journey. I thought, well, I'm doing nothing. I'll do it. But I know that night carnage is going to happen.
I had that time around then. Me and my mate, we was up his flat. He used to do a little bit, and he just got a bit in, and we had a go. Oh, it was lovely, and then
Rocket fuel.
he was meant to go out and sell it. We was going out, so we're doing it, and fuck, he said it's half gone, and he was on supplements. Let's say he was doing supplements, and he had these supplements with a cow one like.
That's
bull.
the Jack geezer. The
Yeah. But he had bull shark sperm or bull testosterone. So we had loads of them tablets. So we crushed them up. And I said, well, give me a couple. So I took a couple of them before it was chopped up. We put all this mix in with it. And then he said, right, I'm going to go and send them this way. So we've gone out. And I knew it was more than 50-50. Like, it weren't even gear no more, really. It was more enhancers.
Jesus.
Like, so we've gone out, and he's gone, I ain't sold none. I said, well, give them to me, I'll buy them off you. Because I've got nothing left. But still knowing that there's a bit in there somewhere. So we've gone back to his gaff, and we set up doing, I don't even know where it was. I don't know, but at the end of it, I was looking for it. You just, in the back of my mind, I know there's goodness in there, and I'm thinking, and we're just sniffing anything. We
Like
don't care.
Animal.
Yeah, we don't care. And we was like this, and we were saying, we know what we're doing it, don't we? This ain't even gear. And he's going, yeah, we didn't care. He didn't sell nothing. We just come back and done it all. But we done fucking cow sperm or bull sperm and shark testosterone.
You mentioned something about Dorian Yates.
Right, so my mate was, I weren't going to say his name, but yeah, a Mr. Olympia. So he was good mates with him.
Right.
So, so we've gone, like, so I'm in the flat, and Mr. Olympia, to be around someone of that ilk,
Yeah.
is inspirational.
Yeah.
If I see the fella there, I would talk to him, I would learn a bit off him.
Yes.
But I was knee deep in gear, and I was having the time of my life. So he's come, my mate's introduced, I've gone, how you going? And he sat in the front room with my pal, and I ain't lying, looking through frosted glass, looking for my car. And my mate's going, he said, what's the matter with you? I'm going, someone's nicked my car. He was going, it's a frosted glass, you can't see your car. I'm saying, I swear to God, someone has nicked my car. I said, I'm freaking out, someone's took my car. And then I've going into the bed, I'm looking at the bedroom, I don't know why. And then the Mr. Limp said, look, I don't know what's going on with this geezer, I can't be here with him. He went, no, listen, it's what he does. And then my mate's come back, he said, Rich, I just remembered, you ain't even got a car. Your car ain't even here. And I was like, that's why it ain't there. But I could see it through frosted glass. I mean, I couldn't see it, but I could see my car weren't there. And I could have, that weren't the first time I met this geezer. I see him twice, this Mr. Olympia.
Right.
I see him twice.
Yeah.
And both times I was ruined. And the second time he just understood that's what I was about.
So he just thought you were standing. There's another one I'm going to pull up.
He just thought, it's that geezer again. But my God, this geezer was inspirational, and I would love to have talked to him. But I weren't in that world. I was in my own world, having the time of my life. Fucking the Queen could have been there. I wouldn't have bothered me. Do you know what I mean? Anyone could have been there. I was in my own world, freaking out both times, and it's a shame. But the geezer knows who he is, and he will remember. Definitely remember. He can't forget it. Really, That mental.
Well, I think we've pretty much done our little bit. Is there anything else we want to talk about?
Whoa, yeah.
That was the time, wasn't it? So you went out to hotel.
Well, it was in Mayfair.
Right.
Oh, I've got a couple of stories about Mayfair. So I was in Mayfair. First time we was in Mayfair, me and my missus, we was just at home. One night we went out to go out for a drink, and we got wrecked in a little wine bar near us. And she said, come, let's go Mayfair. So we got a cab to Mayfair. Sitting there playing blackjack. Some fruity geezer right up himself I give my bird 100 quid, 250. He went, ain't you going to give her no more? Who are you fucking talking to? I said, like, who are you talking to? I said, what's she got to do with you? How much I'll give her? Right. And anyway, cut a long story short, about 15, 20 minutes in, the bouncers have come up to me and said, you've got to leave. And what do you mean? They said, you've hit the house limit. I said, I've hit the house. I said, I've not lost any. I said, I ain't spent no money.
Won.
I won 5 grand.
Oh, you
I did.
won?
I won 5 grand. I didn't even realise I won 5 grand. They kicked us for what idiots. I would have stood there and lost it all.
Yeah.
They kicked us out. Me and her got a cab home. And then she was sick in the cab, ruined. But what a night that was. The other night in Mayfair was another night. Was at the casino. We stayed at the Mayfair Hotel. We've walked through the foyer and we've seen Mel B. And she was with a fella, mixed race fella. I don't know what, can't remember his name. But I think he was an actor. And he had a Christmas jumper on. And it was a god awful. It was the ugliest jumper you've ever seen. And Mel B, that scary one, and my missus was talking, getting on. And then we're standing there talking. I said to her, Mel, I said, see, if you didn't think who he was, there's no way you'd wear that jumper. I said, you don't, no matter who you are, you can't pull that jumper. That is the ugliest jumper I've ever seen. She was going, I told you that's an ugly jumper. There's a terrible jumper. And then we've gone back up to the room. I weren't sure about telling her you want to get on it or not. And yeah, it was like one of them things, like she's famous, but my missus was having a laugh. And then all of a sudden, like she's left, she's come back, she's got all my bird's hair extensions, like mental nights. The same night we see Gary Neville, I said, what's happening, Gal? Like, when I tell you, he looked through me like if I was a window.
Yeah, I could see that.
He was like, really? Like, I'm saying hello to the geese. Like, yeah, mental nights we've had. Crazy nights.
How do you think, obviously now you've come out that loop but not doing gear. I know you said you're more present and you've got more energy, but I think it's funny because it's funny because obviously I've gone through my carnage and you've seen it, and I've sort of come out of it and you've sort of dragged yourself out as well. I think mainly obviously dealing with a lot of my shit as well. But certainly I think it's definitely the... just health-wise, I think what advice would you give someone who's someone who wants to get off? Obviously, I think everyone's got their own journeys, but what would you say would help someone to try and make that?
You can't help no one. It's up to the person. Like no one could. If someone told me to stop, you'd think, nah, you'd get the ump. So it's down to that person. A lot of people have to stop because they have some bad thing happen to them or something in their life where they have it rock bottom and they can't do it, or something tragic happens. With me, it just got to a point I was like, this ain't me. And work was getting a bit busier and I had to be present all the time. I couldn't even have half a day off because I didn't want to lose your properties and the people you brought to me.
The carnage, I think, was there, and you were I have to say, just saying that you were you knew that I was in a bad way.
It was carnage for you, but for me it was a fight that I liked.
Yeah, you was fighting for me.
Oh, well, yeah, you was in a bad place and I was just being there. It was a friend. All I was doing was being a friend to you.
I felt that.
It weren't work, it weren't nothing. That was just being a friend. That's what I am. If someone needs something, I very rarely say no. I'm always there. So, but your work and the work you mates brought to me as well, I couldn't disappear for a day or half a day. So that's what kind of got me out of my circle, my merry-go-round. It got me off. So you can't tell someone to stop if they're not ready to stop.
No, I totally agree.
You can't. It's very hard. It's patronising in a way. How can I? I'm not saying I've stopped. Let's not get it wrong. I'm not gonna sound. There's always gonna be a time you with your pals, and it's enjoyable to an extent. But I'm not gonna be on that loop where it's a religious thing. Like you go to, but it was like a church. Every week I go and I give homage to my gear. That's what it was. I used to religiously do it. So it was just a bad habit I had, and you break it. But to get someone to stop, it's down to that person.
I'm saying if someone wanted to stop, I think there's certain...
If they wanted to, they'd have to cut the ties. Because it's just the link. It's them circles.
Jump.
It's the circles. You don't go to... There were...
Temptation.
Yeah, there's like areas of East London I go to, and I was telling just now, I went through that area, and I got a twinge.
Yeah.
I thought, you know what?
The little...
do you know what it was? I had a couple of hours to burn before I come here.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what? I definitely would have done that. Yeah. And I was thinking... Could I do it now? No, I can't. I'm going to meet Paul. I can't. But you get it's that
whispers,
devil.
Yeah. The demon.
It's only over there.
Richie, come on.
Yeah, come on. We could go.
Little one. Just that he won't even notice. He won't notice.
Oh my God, you wouldn't notice. I wouldn't be here talking. I'd be like,
no.
What's
and
this?
I'd see
What's
it.
that? Come on. What's that?
But it's such a sneaky fuck that wants to get into your head and call it. It does call. I mean, obviously, mine called me loud, and yours was. I think yours was more consistent. Mine was just mental. So mine wasn't as consistent, but I'd go mental. I think everyone's getting their own.
I was a functional addict. I was an addict, but I was working. And I was working. I could get, and that's a terrible thing to be because you don't think there's a problem. Everyone else is the problem. You're not the problem. It's everyone else. But that was the problem. I mean, I never missed anything. I was always present. I was always. And I think, how did I do that? I was there. It's amazing the amount of stuff. I had 2 football teams going. I used to do training 4 times a week and then 2 matches at the weekend. And I was there, I was present. But that one day, I used to get hammered and it was so hard to keep it together for the rest of the week. Horrible.
Battle.
But I'm not going to say...
I love the theory of, and I've mentioned it in podcasts before, is the Adam Sandler click. The speed that goes by and the amount of time. Because I now spend a lot of time, you live out in Essex now, you spend a lot of time with your collection of dogs, which I may say was 8 of them. But just being out and in nature, being out and just being present, the amount of time I must have spent in bed 3 or 4 days. I should ring you, Rich. I'm in one of my flats and I come round.
It's not even in bed. How many times can you think, right, it's 4 in the afternoon, you start getting on it, and then it's 10 in the morning.
Yeah, it's mad.
And you're looking around, the sun's burning in, and you think, oh my God, I've got to sort myself out before anyone knows I'm still here getting on it. And then it's horrible. And then it ain't even that. You're getting on it till say 6, 7 in the morning. Then 3 hours before you sleep. Then you're sleeping till 6, 7 at night. No one's saying you've gone missing for 2 days.
Yeah.
It's fun at the time, but sometimes it ain't even fun.
I don't see it, but I find the fun bit is probably of a bollock talk. See, the conversations you have with your mates is like a bollock it's a bollock talking competition.
No, that's
the fun bit. That's the fun bit.
Right, so you are 99% of what I do that. So all my mates are talking. I can't be with one mate because one mate talks to me and I'm like that. I need 2 so I can just step back and they can talk and I might go, oh. I might come out with a grunt because I can't talk. There's no point having...
You're probably the only person in trouble.
There's no point in having me there because I'm either like that or looking at the cameras, looking at the CC. What are you doing? Oh. I'm trying to make eye contact to say I'm present, but horrible.
It's mental.
And I say to them, why does anyone want to be around me? I'm just like a mute. It's no point in me being there.
It's not fun.
That's why I never used to get involved with it. I just crack on my own because it can't. But everyone wanted to be around me. Maybe I don't know why. I had gear, but I didn't have gear. It was like if I had gear, I wanted it all from. I didn't want to share it really because I just wanted to do it all.
Yeah.
Horrible. And then as soon as it all went, everyone's getting turfed out. Right, leave Ubers, call Ubers. Like so unsociable person.
I remember having a bar in Upper Street and the doorman ringing me up saying, "Please, you've got because you scared the doorman in there."
Yeah, yeah,
About 30 of you, buckled.
Yeah, we all went in there, and your doorman tried to say something and was like, "Mate, come on, this is my mate's gaff. One, it's my mate's gaff, and two, you ain't doing nothing." Like, and he was just like, "Please, like, it's like your mate's gaff." And we was respectful, but then I think 4 of them got caught in a toilet. It was just they took the piss, and then I just said, "Come, let's go." But yeah, it's just to get the change now, you have to do it yourself. There's no research. There's no book learning.
I think there's
It's within yourself.
I think the thing that happens is, as you mentioned, is massively is your surroundings have to change. I mean, you actually started working from home, and I think that was probably your main jump because
Took me out of the link.
took you out of the loop.
Took me out of Bethnal.
Out of the loop. That was your jump. I would
Mate.
say the jump. Your jump was keep out the area, work from home.
It was so in Bethnal, you could get it easier than getting a portion of chips, fish and chips.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to leave a couple here. Someone used to walk past, I'm going to leave a couple. What are you leaving them here for? I'll pick them up later. For what? Why are you leaving them? Because they knew it was going to get done.
Yeah.
Like, so they used to drop, I'll just leave that there with you. Why? Why are you leaving it? No, I don't want, just let me leave it here. All right, sweet. Gone. Within an hour, it's gone. I'm calling him back up. You got more. He knew what he was doing, the fella. Like, it was just...
sneaky.
Yeah. But it turns people like weird as well. I had a mate, I used to give him everything. And not my gear, but my mate had some and he nicked it.
Yeah.
And I said, "Why did you nick it?" I said, I'd have bought that and we could have done double that tonight. Why did you nick it?
It was a big bit as well, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. Bits were going missing.
Oh, that's right. It was
Bits were going missing over the course of a time, and my other pal was thinking it was me. He was looking at me for like I was having conversation, and he was looking at me like with a friend. I think, what's this about? And then it only come to light when we caught the fella nicking it. And he went, "Rich, honest to
the
God,
damage he was causing."
well, between me and my pal, he said, "Rich, I thought you was nicking the gear." I said, "What are you talking about? I buy it all the time. Why am I nicking gear? I don't need to nick the gear." And yeah, it's...
Well, at least he had an excuse. He nicked because didn't excuse.
Shouldn't have to nick because...
But the shovel it was so intense for him that he was...
I don't think it was that. I think where it was there and it was ready available, he used to think I'll take it and no one would know. But someone did know, but the blame was getting put on me. Like... And I, at that time, I couldn't work it out. I was thinking, why is he so off with me? And then when I found out, I said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Why did you take that?" And then my mate said, all along, he said, "That's been happening for months." I said, "I didn't know." He said, "I thought it was you." I said, "I didn't say nothing to you because I wouldn't say nothing to you." But he said, "I thought you was nicking
having
bits."
a little bit.
Yeah. And he said, "Well, why would I need to?" I said, "How much do I get a day off you? Why would I be nicking it?" But it's it's not like a hallelujah moment, but you get out of it, you wake up early, you go to bed early. It's not like a grind. I look forward to getting up. I look forward to seeing my dogs. I look forward to starting the day. Where before you just wanted to hide. I remember burning hot days. I'm sitting there under my duvet thinking, "Oh, please, not so hot today." Just crying, thinking, "Just let this end." But now every day is a blessing. And to be fair, a little bit, I kind of stopped it before, but Jim's come in. I got a little bit of an health scare. Not much, but it's helped kick everything on a little bit more.
Taking much more
Taking care of yourself, thinking about things. Don't eat like a gannet all the time. I don't need to go buy 3 meals from McDonald's and have a burger on the way to the car just for fun. You don't need to do that. You don't need to be this gannet and like I see people eating and I think, how are you not a burger away from just killing over and like I think if I'm borderline, like you must be nailed in the coffin.
I think you're catching it. I think you catch that, but I think that's part of it. When you start making those steps, it's like you create a pathway, and I think the more you do it, now I know you work out. You create another pathway. Whereas the other thing was just you didn't even think about that pathway because you just half the time were just trying to recover from the fucking chisel.
But a lot of the time, you always think, oh, I'm 8.5 stone. I used to think it was a good thing being 8.5 stone, but I was a mess. It was 8.5 stone of, if anyone was going to try anything, I'd have 10 seconds maybe of life in me before I killed over and I couldn't do nothing. So it wasn't good. But the size of you just, people didn't really want to mess with you because you was 8.5 stone. You just looked at a presence, but it ain't good. Like, I used to think, well, yeah.
I've noticed you're taking on a lot since obviously you've gone on this journey, because I think it's been a journey now. You're taking on a lot more business. You seem to be, it's like you're becoming what
I'm looking for it. It's before I was turning it away, I was subbing it. Now I'm actively out there looking for
actively grafting.
Actively looking. And where before, Rich, I got a flat, I got this, I got that. Yeah, I'll give it to mate, I'll do this, I'll pass you over to there, I'll do that one. Give it to, I'll sort it. Don't worry, I'll sort it. Give it to me, I'll sort it. I'm 24 hours. Anyone wants to call me 24. I'm always on it now. There's not a stone left unturned. I'm so laser vision. I'm so focused in on this now. It's like, people call me, no lie, 1 o'clock in the morning I got a call last night. Just from a tenant. They've had a row of another tenant.
Right.
1 o'clock in the morning, but I'm still up doing this nuttiness. But now I'm not, I'm there.
Yeah.
Instead, what I would probably out my nut, like, oh no, why are they calling, like freaking out? Now
I think,
what's the matter?
Probably we've discussed this, it's like you need to be busy now. You need to feed that.
Definitely. I do, because do you know, when there's a lull, I sit now, look at my phone. No calls, no texts, no emails. My life, every 10 to 20 minutes, I've got a text, email, or a phone call every 20 minutes of the day.
Right.
And guarantee when I come off this, there'll be 50 there. Guaranteed.
I can cope with that.
But I like it.
So my thing is, I think we're here. Your thing is work. My thing is exercise. So I've had to feed it in different ways. If you guarantee you ring me, I'll be in the gym 7 hours a day.
You are, yeah.
Whereas you will be now graft. I still graft, but I have to feed my whatever that fucking lunatic thing is.
But what I see in you lost that. You lost your way. Like you was.
Oh yeah.
You didn't want to make a phone call. You was
Scared.
nervous. Like you was always. I said, don't you realise? And I said this to you. I said, don't you realise? You started this off. You're the guy that had 30 flats. You're the guy that had an E-type Jag. You're the guy that had that big townhouse in Camden. Not one, two of them. Why can't you make a phone call? Oh, can you do it? No, I can't do it.
Fair.
You can do it because you've done it. I don't know why you want to palm shit off. You're the guy. You can do it. And you're doing it now, but it took a little time.
Long time. It helped. I don't have to say it was coming on the island, but you're right. And it's interesting because I think it took my confidence.
It was like you're scared to make a phone call.
Scared of the phone.
Yeah.
The carnage it went on. I was scared of the phone.
Yeah.
I think it takes your confidence. I think coming out of it, you lose who you could be. I think loads of people are stuck. They're never going to be able to do what they're meant to do, what they can do. You could have been stuck in it until you get an heart attack and then you're done.
Yeah.
Never really knowing what your full potential. Now, your engine's ready, your brain's clear, and I think I was stuck in such a... Well, losing, what, £8-9 million is quite a hit, and the way it went with people around me, it was quite a frenzy. And I think the shovel for me was then my medication, and I think it went well. You saw it went to pretty.
But like you was surrounded by people, and you did right. I don't care how you see this, but I was your mate. I didn't just work with you. I was your mate, and I remember you sent me one geezer. You sent this geezer. I had a block of flats for sale. You sent me this geezer. Within 10 minutes, I thought, yeah, this geezer's moody. I thought, and then he left me, and I rung you straight up, and I said, "You know this fella?" And you said, "Yeah, he's my good mate." I said, "Paul, he's no good." And this is 10 minutes after that. I said, "This geezer's no good," and I don't know how I knew, but that was the geezer that turned your world around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who made your world crumble because he done a dodgy deal and he rumped you.
Yeah.
So he's got a lot to answer for, to be fair.
It's interesting because I think I had many. The people with gut feeling. I find it sometimes you get these whispers that come to. That was one of those feelings. The universe will come and give you all. And you warned me, and I remember the first time I met. But when you're in that world and you're partying, you're flying around, you're doing this. I wasn't tuned in.
You was in the care, but do you know what? I was kind of in that buzzed up.
Around,
but I knew.
Bowling around in E-types, Porsches. I mean, I was but I was not. You see it with people. I was not humble. I was just out there, not tuned in, because that could never happen now, and it wouldn't have happened between. I was more mature between 30 and 40. It was at my 40th where things started getting a bit mental.
I never knew what level you was on. You was on a high level, like top 1%, you would say, of your earnings. I didn't know that. I knew you. I knew you had flats. But it never sunk in. I knew how much you was making, but I didn't look at it. I just used to do your flats in Lincolnshire. I just used to see you. But when you think about what you had, it was... People couldn't dream of it, what you had. And you pulled up in an E-type Jag. People looked at us...
Yeah, it was strange. That was strange, wasn't it?
People, they must have thought we robbed it. Like, we don't... Stuck out like a sore thumb. Yeah. A big sky blue, cream leather, E-type Jag convertible. And there's me and you like that. Yeah. Like, it was just... But that was the... You was... That's why you had that voice. Because you was on that level. You had that... Shoreditch ass, hooty tooty, sticker. I remember when I see you, I had my kids. They must have been... I can't remember, 5 or 6. And you had your boy, he was 4.
Yeah.
And we was there. I said, go. They done so. I said, what the fuck you doing? Go sort your... And you looked at me in disgust. You went, you swear at your kids. I said, no, I just tell them whatever it is. Like, and I thought, right, this geezer's changed. Like I can't, like... But now you understand. My kids know everything. Like, I don't lie. They have to... You shouldn't keep your kids wrapped up in cotton wool. They need to know the world. And at the start, you was going. You look at when I was swearing at my kids. What did you think?
No, I didn't. I looked at it. You shouldn't be swearing at your kids, but I swear at my son a lot. I don't swear at him, but I swear I'm myself with him. So I think everyone's got their own ways of how they are with.
No, but you actually pulled me on it. You swear at your kids.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
Of course, I fucking swear at my kids. What the fuck? They ran this all day long. But it's like you was on another level. And I didn't look. I didn't take you for that. I just took you as Paul, and whatever you say, me and you used to knock about and do it. It didn't matter what you had. You could add 30 flats, add 3 flats. Doesn't matter to me. You still Paul. So.
Yeah, it came crumbling down pretty rapidly. Well, it was.
You had terrible people around you. Terrible people around you, and I feel if I was there, it wouldn't have happened. If I was there with a little bit of insight, I didn't... All what you was going through, what you was buying, all the stupidness you was doing, I didn't know.
Yeah, I was gone.
But that's the same with me, I suppose. I was in my own world doing my own thing. And to be fair, if I did know and I did tell you, probably wouldn't listen anyway.
No, I was too far wrapped in just... I think you learn a lot. I tell you one thing in life. You get much more wisdom through carnage.
You was living a carnage life.
I was
What was the story you told me? You went out for a weekend and blew 20 grand in a weekend?
30 grand.
In a weekend. Who does that? No one could do that.
Yeah, that was...
And you said you crashed out for... You crashed out for a couple of days. You woke up and the money was back in your account. You didn't even realise you had spent it.
No, because money was coming in.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's the problem. It's facilitated the.
When you told me that story, that's when I thought, wow, he's got money. That's what I thought. Wow, he done 30 grand in the weekend. And he woke up next week and he's back in his account. Wow, yeah, he can do that. Yeah. People couldn't do £30, let alone 30 grand.
Yeah, but if I had some ways, I think that journey would have killed me, because I was going out and I had some dangerous moments where you going out 2 or 3 days on the shovel.
So maybe you needed...
I needed to... What stopped it was the carnage, really. It got so dark. I got really some dark thoughts and I got in a real bad way. And my son was probably the pivotal moment. I had a moment with my son. My house was getting repossessed. I've never told you this. It's going to freak you out. I'm going to freak you out right now. But I got married through all this carnage. So I was a Brazilian chick.
To Sills?
No. I got married for all this thing. I got married. And that,
So you're bird now?
No. Brazilian, a girl called...
There was another one?
Yes. So all this carnage, this is when things got really dark. She done the off because my money was going. So she... yeah. So she left.
So she come with you when you had dough?
When I was flying around the world, doing all these things, living large, and I got married. So when the money, suddenly this carnage...
So between...
From when
the Sills one, your kid's mum, and this one there.
Yeah. No, this one now. But in between,
this in the middle one, yeah.
Yes, there was a Brazilian girl that I'd met, and I married her, and she.
You married her?
Yeah, I got married.
How long was you with her for?
6, well, on and off for a good few years, long time.
That's how long.
To be fair, and I'll give her a due. She slowed down my carnage. So when I was really out of control, my mum passed in 2015, and that's when it went, mate. You got to get on it. You've had your mum's passed. So the gear went.
Come on,
you've
got an excuse now.
And then I met her in Ibiza. Funny, coming out of toilets in KM5 on the dicky, and we just got on the dicky, come back all carnage, all booted off. But she when everything started going off, I admit, there was a supernova of carnage. My house was getting repossessed. All my house was getting repossessed. I was losing millions and millions of pounds. Suddenly, then there was COVID. Suddenly, that was even more carnage. And then my missus done the off. She went back to Brazil, come back, saw, fuck, this geezer's finished, done the off. And that's when it went dark, really, really dark. I was in a house in Camden. I couldn't see my son. I was by myself now on the shovel, dick. And then it was a moment, my son hadn't seen him for a few months. He came and saw me, and he grabbed me at the bottom of the stairs. He wouldn't let go. And he could see something in me. He was only about 8 or 9. And then I got a phone call from a friend of mine. It was really weird. That's why I talk about universe and all this stuff, because I was in a bad way. I was having some dark, really, really dark thoughts. I've never really told you this, but I think I mentioned it to you, a weird thing years ago, and you couldn't even hear it. I mentioned something I did to you, and I mentioned it to you, and you went, it was freak you out.
Yeah.
And
I can't remember.
I mentioned something about I don't go and talk about it. It's dark. It's about a belt and stuff. And
oh yeah.
I said about a belt. And you were like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" It blocked you out.
Yeah.
And I was going down that madness because everything in my head, I had no fight in me.
Yeah.
But that was a pivotal moment, and that's when I went to Ibiza madly, where I had mad time. But it was COVID. I stayed in a campsite in the north of the island. And I was living on this caravan, which was by the sea, and that's when I started thinking. Right, you got to start. It's like you mentioned the word Adam Sanders, the old click, and that's when time slowed down. There's something to being by the water. That's why I love being around the water all the time. And that's when I started thinking, okay, the carnage, and I think just being that was the beginning of me going right. Can I, finding confidence to answer the phone, because you're right, I was scared to answer the phone.
You've only just started doing it.
It's been a while now. It's not. Yeah. It's been about a year or so, a couple of years.
Well, I think 6 months.
Well, no, but really,
really
now it's getting more. And I think
you're actively wanting to phone people now,
but it's relating to the fact of getting things done, because I know working out, and I don't want to work out. I make myself do it, and by doing that, it kind of triggers me to go, right, what have you got to do tomorrow? Do that.
Because if you do it, it's done. Where before you was relying on other people. I remember you said to me before, Rich, all the rents are going to come in, you take control of my bank account. I said, why would I take control of your bank account? Because you're so used to giving people control of your own bank account. I said, no. I said, I don't want nothing to do with your bank account. I will just pay you.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, how can he give someone his bank account? And that is too much trust.
Yeah, but this is the thing, is the fact you can get people to do stuff. It's getting the right people to do stuff. The problem at the moment,
people don't give a fuck.
You cover all of it now. Whereas before, I had people around me which were trying to really step through me, to step on, to step through, to step on.
Yeah.
And also my decision making. You got to understand, it's gone. It was from 1 minute, I'm flossing, within 6 months, going to family court. I must have spent £500,000 on legal fees over the years with family court, with going to court with banks, with going to court with this fella, which is still going on.
Yeah.
Then they've got a divorce, which is still going through. I mean, I'm talking about, and in your brain, you're thinking, what's happening? What's happening? I just think, in some ways, there's no some ways about it. It took a real battle, and fundamentally is just coming out the loop, and coming. The key of it is just right. You've got to stop doing gear. You've got to, because the great thing about
becoming
gear,
yourself again.
The great thing about doing gear, when the things go on, when you do a line and shovel, all your problems are gone. For that few hours, you do a bit more gear, and for a few hours, maybe 4 or 5, it will numb everything. Yeah. And all you're thinking about is it. And you're by yourself, it's all gone away. But the problem with it, when it comes back, it comes in waves and waves and waves. And
it's never going to go away. It'll be there tomorrow. So then the next day you want to get on it again to nullify it. So that's why you got to deal with it and deal with it there and then. I'll never leave anything.
Well, look, I'd say one thing. You've definitely been a good friend, and from your obviously getting taken over, just taking control of stuff, and it's definitely helped. And even being in it where I am now, and being out, because not many people I can speak to, but just speaking to and knowing there's humour. I think humour, a lot of the time I'd speak to people and there'd be just drama. We know a particular person, won't say his name, but there's drama. There's lovely. There's some people which are, but you just drama. And I think I had to take on a lot of people's drama, and that now.
You ring me and my life's like a sketch show. It's like EastEnders. Every day there's
always something.
Something all the time. But it's like, with you, it weren't like I was helping you. It was like you was in the trenches, you was having a fight, and I was just there. I weren't doing nothing out of the ordinary that I wouldn't do for anyone else. You're my mate and I'm helping. So, I know it sounds weird, but it's fun for me. I like helping. I want to help you, and it gives me joy. It ain't like it's a chore. I want to help. I like, if I can help, it makes me feel good that I can actually help in anything. I know it sounds weird. It's not just you. I help you because you're my pal, but I just like helping in general.
I do feel I'm a bit special. I think I do get special.
Well, you can't.
I do get special.
Yeah,
treatment.
you do. But it is. That's just my person. I want to help, but you especially, you've given me a battle, an uphill battle to fight all the time.
So, well, Richard, thanks for coming today, and I'm sure this is the beginning. I think we'll do a few.
There'll be a part. I'm sure. I mean,
there'll be a part 2.
That was only after stories. I mean, I've got plenty more. I mean, but we don't want to bore people.
No, it's good for you to be here, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming.
I say this. You're my pal, and I'm here all the time. But you can't. No matter what you do, you try to get rid of me, but you can't.
That would never happen. No, it's good. Nice one.
Sweet.
Sweet.